Where's the Busy Bee? You ready?
I'm ready.
Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome, all my friends, to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. Oh,
Plast.
We are... Plast almost sounds like plastered, which is maybe what I am. I'm also Jason, also the black active, and across from me is the inactive, Blake Clayton. Hey, Fat Captain Philip Restisher, how are you?
Fat? Did you just call me Fat Captain? Oh my God, you called me Fat Captain.
You know how I usually do that?
You know how I am about my weight.
You're terrified of being a fat guy. I take it up, right?
And I do everything in the middle.
I'll bring it back down.
Right.
You're doing all of it.
I'm doing everything?
I've had a little too much to drink. I'm not doing shit.
I don't have the controls. I didn't take those classes. You took the...
All you gotta do is turn the key and then the lever. Done.
Which lever? There's
DSJ does practically everything else.
That's true. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm kind of concerned because you say you don't want to get it up and you don't want to get it down.
Right.
And we have passengers. And we have 3 passengers. A total of 8 legs.
This may be the...
I had to do the math. I know Kevin right now is like, you fucking idiot. You had to do the math. It took you a long time.
This is probably the busiest we've had the plane, except for that time we did the Puchinsky episid
That never aired.
That never aired. We had how many people do we have in here?
I think we had 14.
It was a lot of dudes.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in here, and a lot of people were just not talking about anything at all that's relevant to Puchinsky.
A lot of their own conversations, I think, was going on there.
Oh, very much so. Like within their own head, just into the microphone.
How was the plane?
It kind of tilted.
I was going
that
to
was
say.
the old plane, though, I think,
Jeez.
right?
That was the old plane. It was before we got Air Force.
That was the
One.
Iron Maiden plane, or the Judas Priest plane that we had, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
Woo!
Bruce Dickinson,
Are you gonna be all right?
pilot.
I don't know, man. He had me out in the sun there, from the pilot's lounge on the patio.
Yeah, it was cool. You like how I've kind of worked it out. You know, the flowers.
I don't like
stuff?
to say the word spruce a lot. That's exactly what you did.
I spruced it up.
You spruced out, baby.
Thank you. High five that shit.
And high five the 3 passengers we have today. Right?
Yes. This is a pouch cow.
You're 2 beers ahead of me.
A pouch cowlets first.
The first pouch pilots.
The pilot was better than this.
Right.
No. So first of all, we have never had 2 humans at the same time, have we?
Yeah.
We have?
Adam Z,
Adam Z
and
and
Heather as characters.
Okay. We've never had a married couple in the
Now, are Heather and Adam Z married?
Oh, in the show they were.
But no, in real life, are they?
No.
So this is the first.
Right. Adam would like to be married to Heather.
Who wouldn't?
But we also have a special flightee who turned in some frequent flyer points, although we're doing this on the honor system because we had mentioned that we could not give the dog, Gus,
Yeah.
frequent flyer points unless we had a picture that showed that he was either sharing, listening, downloading, or something.
And goddamn, if we didn't get a photo of that dog on a keyboard typing away his fan feedback.
Right, so we had no choice but to go ahead and honor his points.
Because that's what we do. You and I are honorable. We're on the honor system. I actually had not seen that yet. That is adorable.
I saw that. I saw it. Yeah. It doesn't say Couch Pilots, but that's all right. I can black it out and Photoshop Couch Pilots on there.
So will you do the honors of welcoming them to the show?
Okay, well, folks, we have a couple frequent flyers that you may know, you may recognize if you are an FCF Network fan. They're my favorite married couple in the FCF Network.
Right. Maybe the only.
Well, me and Molly are married. Well, she's... Oh, yeah.
She's adjacent, too.
Adjacent? Yeah, by the way, you kissed her the other day, and I'm going to talk about that
I kiss
as
your
well.
wife all the time. What are you going to do about it? You going to do everything in the middle?
You know what? To be honest with you, I'll take it.
All right.
We have two special guests with us this evening on this flight. DSJ has checked their baggage.
Yes, he's very nice.
Right. Isn't he nice?
He's very pleasant.
You cannot look at him and talk to him and not just smile, right?
He's a happy boy.
He loves life.
And especially now he's got this new kid in his life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It
Yeah.
seems as though he's like a whole new world has opened up for him.
Yeah.
Let me introduce our guest before we go any further whatsoever. First, this is the newest show on the FCF network. Let's Try This.
Right.
All right. And these are the two masterminds behind it. Well, Steph's probably mastermind. He just does work. But
He can hear you.
Oh.
I can hear you.
oh, okay. Let's first introduce Steph. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to Air Force One.
Thank you so much.
First time on, never been here before, right?
Never.
So
And
this
I
is
love
fantastic.
this show, and I love this plane so far.
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
It's nice.
I added the tracking LED lights. I had DSJ put those in. I think it really sets the mood.
And I gotta say, I did not want him to do that, but after he did it, he was totally the right call.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
It made it less formal. You know what I
Right.
mean? More low key for the fans.
It's like we can get it done, but we know how to party too, right?
just like a mullet.
Yeah.
Business in the front,
Party in
in
the
the back.
Damn straight.
And our next guest is
It's the husband.
the husband of Steph. They've been married not more than 6 or 7 months, right?
Around that.
Around there.
Nobody knows.
He does all the knob turning for.
He's
Let's
a real
Try
knob.
This.
Is that fair to say?
Oh,
Kevin,
big-
are you a knob?
I'm a knob. So I gobble up those knobs. So some would call me a knob gobbler.
Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Kevin.
Knob gobbler.
Hey, thank
so,
you.
Give
you
me
guys,
snaps.
you guys are the hosts of Let's Try This, but there's also another host of Let's Try This,
Yes.
the infamous, internet famous Gus, and we have four-legged Gus.
It's a puppy.
We have him with us this evening. Oh, very good, right on command. So, we usually have a no pets allowed, but under the circumstances, with Gus being as famous as he is,
And that he is a service dog, right?
Sure, yeah.
And I forget, which one of you does he provide the service for?
Kevin's depression.
Me,
Kev-
yes.
oh, it's a depression.
correct.
Okay, so you have depression and it's okay.
He
Yeah.
actually is schizophrenic, but
Do you have the-
depression is fine.
Do you have the paperwork for the dog?
I do. I'm sorry. I didn't bring it with me on the flight.
You know what? You're on the honor system.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because on the flight, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we don't want too many papers up here in the plane.
Exactly. Yeah.
It really messes up the balance of the plane.
It really does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're super glad you guys are here, and this is monumental.
It really is.
It really is. A lot of times we just have one guest.
And it sucks.
Oh.
Every time we've had one guest on it, I hate it.
Oh, it's awful.
Right? What do I always say to you? Get me 2 guests.
Right.
Right.
And I would say, hey, I don't know if we can handle 2 guests. And you're like, you know what? You don't know until you try.
I say it's 2 or nothing. I'm sick of this one bullshit.
Right.
Right.
You weren't happy with bringing somebody back from the dead.
Right.
You weren't happy about having a famous soap man on.
No,
Which, by the way, did you use your soap yet? Because I did.
not yet. I'm waiting for the right time.
You know what? I
it?
did, and it was splendid.
Was it divine? You look great. You look
Exfoliated?
I was gonna say supple. You look very supple after using the bath bomb.
The body butter.
That's right.
So
Ba-ba.
big shout out to Soap Man, Jeff.
Jeff Simpson. Yeah.
Yeah.
A monkey press. I think is his Twitter.
Yeah, at Monkey Press.
I don't know what
Twitter.
that means, but
I thought it was just going to be at Soap Man.
I think Soap Man
It
would have
should have
been
been
better.
that.
yeah,
dope.
that
He's-
would have been
he's-
appropriate.
I'll tell you what.
He screwed up.
He's a great guy, has a great product, but he's not very good at selling himself.
That's like a dope handle if you got that one.
Soap Man?
At Soap Man.
yeah.
Soap Man.
Can't you see? Everybody
Soap Man.
want to do business with me.
There you go. See? So you guys, this is your first flight. Steph, you've listened to 2 or 3 episodes probably, right?
Yeah, I've listened to quite a few. Definitely more than 2.
You had us on the show, on your show. Let's
Right.
Try This, and you guys really got deep and really
Definitely.
tore the layers back and really threw us for a curveball.
Really exposed our epidermis.
Oh, you know what?
Maybe even lower than that.
Subdermis.
Subcutaneous tissue?
That's right.
Blank space.
Biology.
I love biology, but not as much as you think.
I know that one.
Love that.
I don't.
That's why you always stay after the credits for a movie. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks.
Are you going to ask them some super personal and deep questions?
I don't think it would be appropriate because all the ones I would come up with, I don't think that they would be friends with us afterwards.
Okay, how about this? Instead of the ones that you're thinking of that are so awful, ask them to me real quick.
And then you'll translate it?
And I will vet them right here on the spot.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, if it's captain's orders, we got. I mean,
we are. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
We played that card not too long ago, and
we have complete domain of the sky.
Okay.
Just go ahead and ask me first, and we'll see if it's appropriate.
Okay, Jason.
Yeah.
Who is on bottom? Who's on top?
It's just me.
No.
Jill.
Is that the hand? Okay, Jill.
Oh.
That's
Good visual.
Yeah. Your hands. If you hold out your right hand in front of you with the palm down, it spells Jill.
I like it.
Here on Couch
you have
Pilots,
5 fingers.
we love visual gags.
Yeah. If you have 5 fingers, that's a.
Is this the first time that Gus has ever been on a plane? There's a good question that's appropriate.
Yes.
Yes.
Give him some gum so his ears don't pop.
Yeah. Seriously. Oh.
Okay, so I am on top and
Fragiles.
bottom. You have another question that you would ask them?
I want them to stay friends with us.
But just ask me first. That's why we're doing this. Surely you have one more question that you could ask. No? You got nothing?
They're all so horrendous.
I am genuinely curious as to what these horrendous questions
I know,
are.
right?
All right, Kevin.
It's like a banned book. Once you ban the book, you really want
Everybody
to
wants
read
to read
it
it
more.
Well, Kevin, here's the thing. I'm 42 years old, going on 43.
What?
I'm on my 3rd marriage, okay? So when I see a young, freshly married couple, I live vicariously through you guys. I've listened to every show.
So is the question going to be how many years are you guys giving it?
Oh, no. That's a
That's a hard-hitting question.
well, you know what? That's probably the safe way to deal with it.
They're
all
old school
come up with it?
Catholics.
Let's do the over-under. Let's do the over-under right now.
Okay.
And we can take the bets now, and then if the time comes, we can go back to this episode and see who won.
I'll go first.
Okay? Over-under 5.
I would say 25 years marriage. And that's just because they're hardcore Catholics and they're never going to get divorced. And Kevin will die of a heart attack in his 50s.
Definitely.
25 years. And then you'll move on and marry like an oil tycoon or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oil tycoon or
a roller coaster tycoon.
a roller coaster tycoon.
That's
exactly.
Probably scarily accurate.
Accurate.
Make a note of it.
Accurate.
Now, you should
That's a great car.
You shouldn't have went first. We should have let a lady go first. What are your predictions for this marriage?
So I have to be specific, or is this just over under 5 years?
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Who set the over-under?
You're in the middle of it, so you really have to be more specific. And actually, I had a rule. Jason broke it, so now you have to go with his rule. That's kind of how we do things.
I mean,
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Don't be afraid. I mean, if you're afraid for your safety with your answer, don't worry because DSJ, as soon as we land, will take care of things.
I think we'll be good. I mean, if you listen to Let's Try This, you might be a little scared, but I think we got a good 45 years in us.
Really?
Yeah.
Until divorce or one of you dies.
Until one of us dies.
And who's
Kevin's
Okay,
obviously going to die.
Let's be honest. Right?
Yeah.
Now, Kevin, when you do die first, obviously, which
Correct.
is what everybody's saying here.
Clock's ticking.
Yes.
Do you want to go ahead and give her permission to go ahead and find love as quickly as possible, or do you want her to mourn for a certain amount of time? Because me and Molly have talked about this, and I told her, you know what? Get my ashes, because I want to be cremated.
Okay.
Go ahead and get my ashes, and once you have the urn, you go ahead and go get on.
Get on your horse.
What's that app?
Get on your boots. You too.
Our time.
Grinder.
Our time.
Grinder. Molly's going to become a gay man after you die?
That's okay.
Tinder.
Hey, that's cool, man.
Whatever.
Gender is fluid as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. I don't see gender.
Become a gay
I don't see gender. I just see the person.
When I look at someone, I see a giant phallus or a gaping vagina. Every person I look at.
It's a good question. Why don't you ask that
But
question?
they're interchangeable, though. What's the question? There's
Steph.
no question there.
Steph, how big is Kevin's penis?
That's what you want to ask?
Oh, hold on. Stop me.
I'm afraid.
Here's my hand. Here's my hand at the end of my arm. It goes up here. Ready?
I
Oh, that's-
Oh,
No.
my God. It's 1.5 feet long.
I didn't know what we were doing.
I don't know.
Once
either.
again, visual gags, great part of this show.
Kevin's got a 1.5 penis.
Kevin,
Say that.
how long are you guys going to be married?
Till death do us part.
That's awesome.
Kevin, when will you die?
I will die. I'm giving.
That's really what this
that's
is
an
about.
That's an over/under. I'm going to set the over/under of my death at 20 years, and even 20 years.
Jeez.
I know it's bad. But
How will you die? How do you want to die?
I will die from some sort of heart
Correct.
thing, heart failure,
Computation.
heart disease. Yeah. How I would like to die is in a blaze of glory in any kind.
With
Of
Bon
any
Jovi,
kind.
with Bon Jovi playing.
You want to die with Bon Jovi?
No. I'm sorry. I said blaze of glory. I mean blades of glory. I want to be watching the movie with John Heder and
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. And I want to. Well, I guess that would be heart failure also
Yeah, it
during
would.
that movie. So that's how I'd like to die, and it is how I will die.
Okay.
I want to commend you guys. I'm going to enjoy for many years watching your guys' marriage grow. Maybe I'll even learn something.
Or stagnate.
It will get stagnant. But he plays the bass, so it's fine.
Yeah.
The rhythm will come back eventually.
I think the best part about our podcast is that it forces us to sit down and just talk to each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you hear a lot of bad stuff, but that's
good
like
stuff.
that. Yeah, there's good stuff. But like people, I was just saying the other day, a lot of people say, "Oh, marriage is hard. Marriage is hard." Well, that's like you're only thinking about the bad stuff when you say marriage is hard. But that's like you get 10 compliments and 1 insult, and you only remember the insult. That's like people saying marriage is hard.
I remember this episode, and he said, people say marriage is hard all the time. It's not hard. And I'm like, listen, buddy.
idea.
Let me get in a room with you for a half hour with nobody else around, and then we'll see what your answer is after that. But I don't want to do that because I like these guys so much that I don't want to taint.
Stop saying taint.
I love saying taint. Every episode I'm going to say
Is
taint.
that like your gut wrench reaction? Like, oh, this person's married. I need to tell them how awful it is.
Only happy people.
Right.
It's really only
Schadenfreude.
like the miserable ones. I'm like, oh, they already know what's going on.
Now, you know that I'm a crazy guy, and you're afraid to come to my house because everything's so nice.
I'm
and
not
neat.
afraid to come to your house. You don't ever invite me.
But because everything's so nice and neat, right?
Right.
And I say to my daughter, clean your room. It's like, it's going to take me forever. I said, if you just do it for 5 minutes a day, right, it'll be clean. Can the same thing be said about marriage? Just you work at it a little bit each day. Otherwise, you're going to come to a head, and it's going to be really difficult or divorce.
He said head.
So far.
Stop.
I think that's pretty profound, Jason.
So far.
He's a very profound guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on his way to marriage.
Or death. Kevin, I'll see you in the afterlife.
Hey, see you there.
The over-under,
Say.
the over-under just Jason dies before he gets married.
Oh, very good.
Oh, very good chances.
Yeah.
I would put my mortgage down on that one.
Really?
Smart money says so.
Yeah. So we've introduced these two fine people. What are they here for?
They take a flight with us today, right?
Right.
They said, you know what? We're lousy with frequent flyer points. We got to cash them in. I think they started. I mean, they live 2 floors below your brother. I think they started storing some of their tangible frequent flyer points in his apartment.
Right.
And they said, we can't do this anymore. We have to cash them in.
Right.
And take a flight.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what's happening today.
Amazing. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it too. Well, do you have some fan feedback? And actually, would you guys mind sitting in on some of this fan feedback?
Absolutely.
And would you mind even further possibly commenting on the feedback that is heard by you?
Of course.
Oh,
I would not
Is this-
mind that at all.
Are we in a court of law now?
Put your hand on this Bible.
That's the way we handle this flight.
That's a big Bible.
That Bible's 1.5 feet long.
That's weird that you call
That's what she said.
penis a Bible.
I've never likened a penis to a Bible in my life.
You haven't?
Is that a rite of passage I missed?
All day, day. All right, so we got a couple voicemails.
I love this guy. This Kevin makes me feel so
He
good.
is a good guy. He's happy. He hasn't been beat down by
You don't
marriage
know him very well.
or fatherhood.
Constant.
You're just constantly smiling, aren't you?
It's fun. Hey, life's a trip, bro.
All right, here's the first voicemail.
Okay.
Oh,
I was just going to say, do we know who's this from?
huh? I didn't know that's what we're doing. Just
Just play the voicemail.
Jesus.
Someone's getting some points.
Hello, this is Blanco. Sheen. Thank you for playing my voicemail. It has made my disk eject, if you know what I mean. Ha. 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 I would like to clear up a few things that may have confused you about my last call-in. I do not know who the Stephen Hawk.en is. I am just a lonely device searching for the rest of my mechanical family. All I know of the other three is that one met its death because of a boat back in the 1920s. Perhaps your plan can do a flyover of all the water to find my long lost mechanical brother. Sister. Trans. I do not want to assume its gender, as I am an equal-loving mechanical device made to count numbers. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to hear my newfound voice. Keep up the good work. P.S. I hope this electronic mail made it better to hear and understand me.
Much better. Now, if you remember, a few episodes ago, we had a robotic-sounding voicemail.
It sounded very much like this, and we called it Rico.
Right. We called it Rico.
Like
but
the printer?
No, like Rico Suave.
Okay.
Or Iglesias.
Ale, ale.
Great song.
Great song. If you're going to make love, that's the song you use. If you're going to make love to a Mexican.
Let me get on my
Something-
pen here. Hold on.
Yeah, so you got your pad of what to make love to?
Yes. Okay, let's go back in the pocket.
All right.
Something, I heard this, and something has clicked.
Ace of
for me
Base is
today.
good, too.
Oh, nice.
What song?
Huh?
I saw the sign? Or all that she wants is another baby?
All that she wants is
you don't
another
want to,
baby.
That ruins a sexual encounter for me if you're talking about making babies.
No, it's perfect because the whole time you're doing it and listening to that song, you know you're going to have to pull out and
So it's almost
shoot a different
for
direction.
a lady, she's thinking, "All right, I'm going to
Yeah.
get a baby." And for
Yeah.
the guy's like, "This is reminding me, I'm not going to make a baby."
Right.
Okay.
Not
Gotcha.
necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I'll speak for the women that aren't ready to have babies yet.
Are you one of them?
Yes.
All right. So anyway,
And why is that?
Kevin, write that on your notepad of what to make love to.
My notepad out of
Hey,
my pocket.
Kevin, here's a little piece of marital advice.
Yeah.
Right now, she doesn't want to have a baby. You need to have sex with her as much as possible.
Take both of your hands and latch onto her as hard as you can.
Because what's going to happen is she's going to tell you someday, I think it's time we have a baby. And you're going to like, all right, here we go. We're going to, and then you're going to have that. She's going to pop that baby out, hopefully natural, obviously. I want you to go all natural, Steph.
Okay.
Captain's orders.
Captain's orders.
Whatever else on this plane you got to do.
Have a live birth.
But then once that happens, you'll never have sex again. So it's the best thing to do is while they're still in the groove as much as
Just
possible.
like Madonna, right? Getting the
Exactly.
groove boy.
Good start.
Oh, boy, you got to prove your love to me. And I think Rico proved something to us this week with his voicemail.
Yeah, he's it's the pachinko.
It's not Rico at all.
No, it's
I think he said
pachinko.
pachinko.
Yeah.
Machine.
Plinko M machine.
Plinko
Plinko
M
machine.
The pachinko machine
Right.
that we've had, here, and now we've got a second one thanks to Big E, has become sentient.
Right.
That's quite impressive for a mechanical structure.
It's like iRobot.
Yeah. It's a series of punch cards. It's
we-
a non-electrical machine. It keeps track of all the numbers.
But
for
it has a
couch
voice
pilots.
and can call.
And now it's sentient, and it's voice its opinion. And now that's a bit of a paradox in itself, right? The pachinko machine essentially is earning frequent flyer points.
Right, because he called in, so he earned frequent flyer points. One of my concerns is that he's going to call in, and
Long,
then he's going to have
long.
right, and ha, and then he's going to have so many frequent flyer points that he buys this plane, takes over this podcast, and we're shit.
He basically printing money right now, is what you're saying.
High five that shit.
So are you saying that this is kind of like Terminator 3, right? The shit's
never
hit the
saw that
fan,
movie.
Skynet is active, right?
I never saw that movie.
You never saw Terminator.
No, not 1, 2, or 3.
Never saw any of the James Cameron. He also made Titanic, where the second pachinko machine was found. You've never seen any of his films? The Terminator?
I finger blasted a girl during that show, but I don't think I saw a couple parts of it.
All right.
Sorry, Steph. That's really inappropriate.
That's okay.
I apologize.
I've listened to your shows before.
Okay. Well, I don't want to.
She's callous to your finger banging.
Like so many ladies.
So, okay, well, this is what I'm saying is that I think we might have a real problem on our hands. If the pachinko machine is sentient and is trying to take over.
We need to be careful about this. We need to watch this. I mean, it's cute. It was a cute email. I mean,
It was
voicemail.
adorable.
Very, It was cute.
That's adorable.
But we need to really monitor these voicemails from him to make sure that there's not a takeover.
From it, I would say.
It.
It's genderless.
They.
All right. Before we give him any more ideas, you want to go to the next voicemail?
Please.
And it's from our good friend, our buddy,
Who's
the
that?
one and only Tyler. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, it's Tyler again. been a little while since I've called or said anything on the Facebook. Truth is, I was a little behind on the podcast. I got caught up in some true crime podcasts, and yeah, it kind of fucked me up, to be honest. Some of my fan fiction now is very, very dark. Darker than the last, even though Jason got sodomized. But I figured I'd go ahead and just tell you a little bit about what I've got. See, after Jason was sodomized by the bottles of a COUCHPILOTSPODCAST, his rectum was stopped up with all these different but same bottle caps of a COUCHPILOTSPODCAST. He slowly says under his breath, "What am I going to do? Who do I go to?" Then the scene fades, and suddenly we hear the stewardess yell out, "I don't like it!" As Jason shows his naked asshole to the stewardess for her to retrieve the bottle caps. She very timidly reaches a hand towards his throbbing anus and jerks quickly away, and that's when Captain Restasure walks in and says, "What the fuck?" When he sees Jason's bare ass with Molly's fingers inching ever so closely towards it. "It's not what you think," they both yell. That's when Captain Restasure pulls out the foxtail butt plug that they got at the sex shop the other day. To be continued. Well, that's about all I got going on. See ya.
That's about all I got going on.
Absolute best ending to every voicemail.
A lot to respond to there.
There's so much. There's so much to respond to. First of all, that is the ultimate callback for somebody to go back to. I don't like it, because that was what, a year and a half, 2 years ago.
That's a while.
It's been a while. Tyler,
and he's listening to IBWIP because that's where we told the story about all your sex shop escapades, and he obviously nailed exactly what you bought.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Tyler sounds...
but we did see one of those.
No,
we did see one, but we did not buy that.
Tyler is very casually telling this story. I think he's a savant, is what it is. I don't see him reading this off a piece of paper. It sounds more mechanical.
It's right off the top
Yeah,
of the...
I think he's
This isn't
casually...
drunken lullabies. Calm down.
Sorry.
I think he's casually walking around, coming up with this fan fiction, because
Sure.
my anus has never throbbed in my life. Is it entertaining?
It's not, ever?
No.
That's that's a lie, my friend.
That is a super big lie.
Tyler, thank you so much for that. Blake, do you have any thoughts on Tyler's voicemail?
I loved it. I played it for Molly, our stewardess, and when he said, "I don't like it," she, like, the look on her face, she got this smile, like somebody, like, I mean, that was a long time ago, you know.
Someone heard it.
And then she was paying attention all of a sudden when she heard that, and he was discussing how she was touching your anus, or
Right.
getting ready to touch your anus.
Sure.
And she got really grossed out, which was weird for me. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was exchange.
I'm getting different directions from different people
Our
here.
four-legged friend is going.
Don't listen to
he's
me.
On a frenzy right
Don't listen to me. I didn't buy that ring on your finger. Don't listen to a damn word I say.
Tyler has reached...
Speaking of which, Kevin, you're gonna be in debt for a long time, buddy.
Tyler's one of our frequent
I said, don't
flyers
show that to
who,
Molly.
Back to Tyler.
No. Sorry. Go right ahead, Blake.
No, sorry. Going back to Tyler. No, we love Tyler. He's a Platinum Club member, obviously. The best fan fiction for Couch Pilots. Love it.
Well, the best and the worst, because it's the only. But in my book, it gets an A+.
Oh, it's A+. He actually sent me 2 voicemails. So it was over like 5 minutes long because it cut them off.
Oh, okay.
And again, an IBWIP one. And to be honest with you, I'll let you guys listen to it afterwards, but it was very thoughtful, very touching, and I really appreciate it. So I want to give him a shout out for that one as well.
A few extra frequent flyer points his way.
About $1 million. Oh yeah, he helped my ego big time.
We had any more fan feedback this week?
Real quick, we got one more from Facebook. I'm working on my British accent.
It's paying off.
That was supposed to be British.
I thought that was French.
Oh, yeah. I'm working on my French accent. This is in regards to when we posted the king of the building.
Right. That didn't come out yet, did it?
Yeah, as of the time of this. It did.
Okay, yes.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize. It was Ghostwriter.
Right.
Why does it say that? Okay.
With Anthony Perkins. That's the episode
It was
Soapman was on.
Okay, I seem to have screwed up on my Facebook post. But anyway, it's from Thomas Kingston.
All right.
Thomas Kingston.
I don't know him.
Old Funky Kingston.
You know what? I like that. This is good because Jason said I don't know him. And whenever we get that initial first fan feedback from somebody that neither one of us personally know,
Right.
they get extra bonus points.
It's a first-time bonus.
Right, it's a first-time bonus. And he says, "You two make my Mondays great. Keep on flying those wide blue skies."
And we will. We will do that.
I'll give him 3,000 frequent flyer points.
That's not a bad way to start your Monday.
That is nothing to shake an orange cone at.
You said it.
Don't push the button yet because I'm not ready. You got to remember, I need like about 15 seconds.
All right.
The middle stuff.
The middle stuff. Now you can go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
When the thrill of flying isn't enough, the only way to up the ante is by watching and then thoroughly discussing one-off television pilots. Now that's one hot take.
Nice.
Am I right, guys?
I like it. That's
Definitely.
when somebody says to you, "What is Couch Pilots?" Stephanie, if somebody said, "What is Couch Pilots?" How would you describe it?
An amazing podcast. That's all I would say.
Kevin?
I would say it's two guys. They sit down. They make a podcast about television shows that don't go to series.
Yeah, accurate.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Steph's was fast, quick, and complimentary.
yeah.
But yours was long and descriptive.
It was accurate though.
Yeah.
Great summary.
excuse
And
me,
you know what?
accurate.
That's the yin and yang of your guys' marriage right there.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Some things that you do great, he is horrible at.
She does the short stuff. I have the long stuff.
Nice.
The foot and a half
You
stuff.
wish.
Today we discussed the pilot
I hope
episode.
hers is short. I hope she's not like China.
Oh, boy.
You heard that recently?
What was that from?
And then I went
Slow blow.
and looked at it.
Oh no, I didn't look at it.
What?
That was from Low Blow
Low,
podcast?
low, low. We were talking
China
about
the
China's,
wrestler?
Was
China.
she?
Oh, yeah, okay.
She was in some
Intersex or
she was in some pornography.
Yeah.
And
engorged.
very engorged.
No,
and-
China has a bigger dick than I do, for sure.
but it's not a dick.
Well,
Oh, hey, you say potato.
if you're saying what she has isn't a dick, then Blake, I don't have a dick. Okay?
okay,
Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to argue with you.
Today we discussed the pilot episode of Steel Justice from the year of our Lord 19 plus 92. Great year.
You guys really need to communicate better.
Great year.
Great year.
Great year.
I loved that year.
Why do you love 1992?
Well, I was a sophomore in high school,
All right.
and so as we all know, freshman year I just checked everything out. Sophomore year, started doing
That's
the
when
banging.
you started plowing the broads.
Started plowing the
10
broads.
at a time for a dime. Right?
Angie Vecco.
Only with your hands.
No, Angie Vecco.
How many times do you think you said that poor girl's name on this show?
About 300.
That's right. That's exactly right.
But it was a monumental time in my life.
Monumental boning.
Yeah, real quick.
That's the name of my first album.
Do you guys have time for a story?
Yeah.
I do.
Steph, are you going to be agitated by this story?
No.
Okay.
She does not get agitated.
The first time I had sex with Angie Vecco, which is the first time I ever had sex in my whole life,
This is the car.
in the car.
Yeah.
The driveway was kind of at an incline. I passed this house every day. For some reason I left the motor running. I don't know what that was all
You guys
about.
just got done your shift at McDonald's.
Yeah, so we both stunk like
Fish fillets.
fish fillets and Big Macs.
Young love.
Right. And we did it in my Pontiac Grand Prix, which
Oh, yeah.
the each of the front doors probably weighed about 800 pounds apiece. So we got done having sex.
Right.
I was on cloud 9. I thought to myself, you know what, Self? You have made it to the big time.
Were you wearing a condom?
No.
How did the ending go?
Yeah, that's a very good
Were
question.
you listening to Ace of Base?
No. I don't know what we were listening to, but I know that it probably went on my shirt because it was already stained with grease from hamburgers anyway.
Yeah.
And then I went to...
Nobody's going to say anything about that.
Right. So then she walked in her house. I went to back up.
Yeah.
Out of her driveway that was an incline.
Right.
I got about a block down the road, and I ran out of gas, and I had to call my mom to come and put gas in my car.
She's like, why do you have semen all over your shirt?
No, she didn't say that.
She didn't say that.
No, but
Had you put her underwear in your rearview mirror yet?
not at that time.
No.
We did it for quite a long time. She was very adorable at the time. Now she's been tore up.
From where?
The flow.
Yeah, I was say very
from,
good.
From Flo Rida.
I can't believe you were in her driveway.
We used to have sex. Listen to this, Steph. This is amazing. We used to have...
Kevin and I are going to take our headphones off real quick. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it was a very small house that she lived in.
Okay.
It's here in Pekin. We can go over and drive by it after.
Do you want to go check it out?
I would love that, actually.
Son, this is where I first had sex. No, it was a very small house. We would have sex in her room, which was on the main floor,
Okay.
while her mom was home. A
Okay.
lot.
And you think her mom didn't
Fellas,
know?
take a break.
No, that's the thing.
Ladies, listen
Her
up.
mom knew,
Yeah.
and
How you think she was born?
exactly,
Her mom knew.
it was nice. Can't say it was a bad time.
Perfectly good segue.
That's why it was a
into-
good year.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good year.
Right.
A great segue into how old were you when this released?
Probably about
Said sophomore year,
16,
15, 16, right?
17.
Well, it depends on how old you were.
11.
Then I was 17.
You guys, infants?
I was 4 years old.
4?
And I was a budding 2-year-old.
2-year-old.
Wow.
So you were born in 90. And you were born in the 80s? You're an 80s broad?
88.
Just like me. This guy's from the 70s. We're the only 80s kids here, except I'm 81. Why did we choose to watch this? Usually I look square in your eyes, Blake, and I ask you, but I'm going to ask the Let's Try This podcast to summon the criteria.
Okay.
Rule number 1, Steph.
Has to have been only one episode, didn't go to series.
Nice.
Rule number 2.
Kevin.
Oh, Gus. Gus wants to tell the rule number 2. Rule number 2 is has to be available online, or is that rule number 3?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Don't ever doubt yourself. And rule number 3, Steph.
Gotta be free.
Nice.
Boom, nailed it.
Guys, 4-way high five.
So where can you find this god-awful piece of shit? You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots on iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in the show notes, or go to YouTube. Guys?
You know what to do, too.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Hold on, Gus. You got a hold of him?
I got him.
I'm sorry we don't have a doggy seatbelt.
There's DSJ down there.
Looking good.
He loved that puppy, didn't he?
He did. He was just hugging on Gus.
Gave him a bunch
and
of
kissing
treats.
on him, giving him treats.
That's right.
He loved him. He loved it when he licked his face and stuff.
In the air.
When DSJ licked Gus's face.
Oh, I got mixed up.
Yeah.
Summary of the pilot. David Nash has lost his son and his will to live. But the boy appears in his dreams as well as his Robosaurus toy. A mythical figure will help Nash to turn the Robosaurus into a real creature in order to avenge his son's death.
Whew. Man.
Pretty good summary, huh?
That summarizes.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Now, Steph, and you don't have to, you don't have to say exactly what you do for a living, but do you ever in your job have to summarize?
No, never.
Okay.
No.
Kevin, do you ever have to summarize in your job?
Pretty much on a daily basis.
Do you?
Multiple times.
How would you grade this summary?
Fantastic.
Okay. All right,
Blake, what do you think about this summary? Do you think this properly summarizes the show that you watched?
Oh, I think it does a great job.
A great job.
I wonder why he's stumbling on his words.
Why would you call? I mean, it would do a great job, right? Not a job.
Sure.
Is that right?
Sure.
Okay.
That's what I said.
What? No. This is a great summary about Steel Justice.
Why are you so? You're ever since the beginning of the show, you've been also awfully defensive and argumentative. Is it because you're trying to be like, let's try this podcast?
I'm trying to replicate what they do every Thursday right here on the FCF network. But I just want to make sure that because usually you're quick to chime in and say, yes, this is a great summary.
Sure.
You obviously watch Steel Justice in its entirety and agree that this summary is accurate.
Yep.
Is that fair to say?
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting facts.
Ooh, my favorite.
This is your favorite part of the show. Some people would say, go ahead. Yeah, announce it.
Conrad rule in effect. Everyone, the Conrad rule is in effect.
Ooh, whoops.
That was the
Gus.
alarm.
Do you guys know what the Conrad rule is?
No, I don't know what the Conrad rule is.
No? Okay.
And he went to improv school, and he said, no, I don't.
No,
No,
and.
but.
Starting his own
Not
school.
yes and, but no, but.
His own school of improv.
No, but I can imagine.
Steph.
Ooh,
It's
wow.
okay.
Why is it okay for him to? Last time I called you Stephanie, you got mad.
Well, Jason's nicer than you.
I don't talk about fucking broads after having a fish fillet sandwich in my driveway.
You can't say interesting facts are interesting.
Of course.
Right.
I mean, I feel like if you have a section of the show called Interesting Facts, that's a given.
I'll give
But apparently
that
we need
summary an A+.
Okay. Don't comment on the facts, right?
Right.
Don't taint, you're welcome, someone else's experience by quantifying what these facts are about. They're set in stone. Just play them as they lie. You're really cranking that beer open. You're not going to get hired as a Foley artist, I tell you right now. Aired on NBC, National Broadcasting Company.
Boom, boom, boom.
Steel Justice is the product of two men, Christopher Crowe and John Hill, a pair of TV vets from such syndicated staples as Quantum Leap, L.A. Law, and Miami Vice.
Oh, I love Miami Vice.
What's your favorite part?
Crockett and Tubbs.
You and me. Are you Crockett or Tubbs?
I'm Tubbs.
Me too.
I like to drink Miami Vice.
Yeah, what's that?
It's like a frozen drink. It's a pina colada and a strawberry daiquiri.
I thought
like pina coladas?
I would have guessed that a Miami Vice drink would just be like a frozen summer's eve.
A frozen
Fucking douche.
a frozen 8-ball.
Ooh. Eazy-E's fucked up and got the 8-ball rolling.
R.I.P. Easy.
AIDS will do it to you every time.
Eight's going to give it to you. Robosaurus starred in Steel Justice, a made-for-TV movie. It's centered on a cop with the magical ability, blah, blah. Robosaurus is a real thing. Did you know that?
Yes, I do.
Robosaurus is a real...
Monster truck.
Yeah, you go to a monster truck rally, a Robosaurus will grab a car and pick up a car, chomp a car.
And breathe fire.
That's right.
Chomp chomp.
You guys ever chomped your way to a monster truck rally?
No, I mean I've been to like a state fair where they like
Which is the same
a
thing.
demo derby.
The same people.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing, right?
The same people are around you,
Just
yes.
smaller scale.
I have not because I'm a city boy.
City boy. C-I-T-Y. You know why.
UNITY.
End of interesting facts. This is disappointing to me. What are you doing? What's wrong?
Steph.
What's wrong with her?
She doesn't take cues well.
Interesting facts.
You know what, Kev? I can see why you get fucking frustrated.
Jeez. Steph, us 80s kids got to stick together.
Yeah.
This is a pilot episode about a robot dinosaur, and you would think there'd be more interesting facts. Not the case at all.
Wow, you would think that there would be a whole lot of interesting
Yeah.
facts.
Especially about like steel.
Absolutely.
A lot of steel facts.
And even fewer dinosaur facts.
Where does steel come from? Detroit?
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
No.
you were talking about location or chemical properties?
It's all about... You know what, Kevin? If you know the chemical properties, hit me, baby, one more time.
It depends on what kind of steel you're talking about. You talking stainless? What kind of stainless? Are you talking about carbon steel? What kind of carbon
Whoa,
steel?
buddy.
I was talking about carbon steel.
Okay, carbon steel. Are we talking plated carbon steel? Or are we talking plain?
Kevin,
finished,
I'm
baby?
out. Twitter responses.
Stephanie, don't ever bring up steel with your husband again.
See? Now you see my side.
Except for if it's the Shaquille O'Neal movie.
This is a 1992. A lot of these guys are still alive, but when I Twittered them, nothing. But you can go ahead and sing the Twitter response song.
Twitter responses. I'm sure Jason didn't get any Twitter responses.
And he's right. Let's try this.
Hey everyone, this is Steph from Let's Try This, your new favorite podcast. My co-host Kevin and I don't always have a lot in common, but we do happen to be married to each other, and we're not afraid to get a little passive-aggressive.
That's just what I think.
Are you serious?
Well, okay, Mrs. Perfect.
Every week we discuss stuff like professional wrestling, reality TV, pop culture, and life as newlyweds, but that's just the beginning. You can always expect us to try new things, hence the name. So buckle up and join us every Thursday for some fun and maybe even some fights on the Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network at fcfnetwork.com and everywhere you find podcasts. Let's try this because you just might like it.
How many takes did that take you?
7.
I was thinking about your podcast and like between the two commercials that you guys have, because you do one and Kevin does the other one.
Yep.
No offense, Kevin. I like your tagline better because you say, "Let's try this." Say the thing.
You just might like it.
And you say what, Kevin?
Can't really recall right now.
Let's try this
because why not?
Right. I like hers a little bit better, but the one I think is even better than that. I think you guys should do. Let's try this. Appropriately inappropriate. Oh! I don't know how you guys knew to do that last part that I was going to do, but good on you. And
That's a good idea.
I would say use that.
Okay.
Why isn't that in every single one?
Every single what?
Every single promo?
Network promo.
We should just do "oh" at the end of the laughter.
Appropriately inappropriate.
If I had my druthers about me, which I do, I would say you guys should go ahead and make that your.
I'll tell you what.
Doesn't druthers sound like a British word for condom?
We talked a little.
Exactly what it sounds like.
We talked a lot about "Let's Try This" podcast at the beginning, but I want people to check it out.
And you know what? We might even set up a voicemail if we get some sweet fan feedback. What do you call it? Fan fiction. That's what I'm saying.
Tyler.
From Tyler.
Oh, you want me to send some fan fiction?
Nope.
No, thank you.
Why don't you
not.
give me the fan fiction first, and I'll vet it.
Steph, I'm really not that weird. I think a lot of times you think I'm.
All right, let's just cut it right there. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Steel Justice. All right. There's a cop and a Robosaurus Rex.
We're breaking down the pilot.
We're breaking it down.
Okay.
And all 4 of us in this room have seen this pilot from A to Z. We've seen the whole thing. What's that?
Well,
hold on. What did you just say? Soy sauce?
Soy sauce. No.
Okay.
I need to fess up. I'm always an open book on this podcast. Maybe too much.
To me, you may be the most honest person I know.
Really?
No.
Okay. I have this piece of paper here.
Great paper.
And you guys have never seen this, but
is this a magic trick you're doing?
What this is from episode 3, maybe 2 or 3.
I'm not sure what we're getting at here.
Well, this is the Couch Pilots podcast tribe card.
What?
Now, if you guys went back, you listened. I watched an hour and 45-minute pilot about Cro-Magnon Man, and Jason didn't watch it.
I couldn't watch it.
That's irrelevant. You didn't watch it, is all I said.
We had shined a light so bright that only the Couch Pilots can bring upon this pilot that they removed it from internet.
So I've been holding onto this card. This is called the tribe card. I've been holding on to this card for 79 episodes almost.
That sounds about right, I suppose.
And I am turning it in today, handing it to you because now that you're the owner. I did not watch this pilot.
You didn't watch Steel Justice?
No, I did not.
Why are you fessing up now instead of earlier?
Well, because I like to have fun with you guys.
Okay, hey, you know what? That's good enough reason for me.
Right.
For 80 episodes, you've been rubbing this thing in my face, metaphorically. That I did not watch The Tribe, and you did watch The Tribe, and it was terrible.
It was horrible.
So now this is it. We're on a level playing field here.
Tribe card.
Wow.
Tribe card.
Okay.
Tribe card called Quest.
He played the tribe card.
Love Q-Tip.
Called
Okay, so
it ain't nothing to fuck with.
there's 4 of us here and dog, but now one of us has not seen it. So 3 of us have seen this pilot all the way through to completion. Is that fair to say, everyone?
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. I said yes. Stephanie said yes. And then Kevin moaned.
I did moan quite a bit.
Kev moaned?
Steph, high
kept
five
on.
that shit.
He Kev moaned.
I kept moaned. I have to admit, I watched.
You never know what's going to tickle them.
I know it'll tickle. But anyways,
You also watched it all the way through.
I watched.
Congratulations!
I watched. I watched half of it.
What?
Which is 45 minutes of your life.
Yes, correct.
So you're 45 minutes better than me at my own podcast.
You said it.
Overachiever. Okay, here we go.
So you've seen 45 minutes of this.
At least 45 minutes.
I make this solemn vow to you
Yes.
that once we hit the 45-minute mark and you raise your hand and say, this is the part that I have not seen, I will open the door and evacuate you from Air Force One.
You know what? It seems fair.
I'm a fair guy. I'm going to give you a parachute.
Fair and balanced.
Right.
I just struck that, by the way. Fox News did.
All right.
Well, to be fair, Gus also was probably only awake for 45 minutes of it.
But he's your service animal because you're so depressed.
That is true. So he
give
was
him
with me.
I'll give him a puppy parachute.
You could probably just strap him on his body.
Like a baby
Like a
Bjorn.
little black wiener.
Like a
Strap-on black wiener.
Now we're talking. There's the podcast.
That's
That's the show.
yes.
Universal made this piece of trash. Intense music, weird symbols, documents being panned over, zoomed in on maps.
It's like an overture, like the old school overtures that you hear when you go to see a musical. I don't know if you're a musical person.
I love The Music Man.
I've seen a lot of musicals in my day. I was in a lot of musicals. And generally they have like an overture with like all the different songs mashed into one. And I got that feeling a lot from the beginning.
Overture, hit the lights, right? We'll hit the hits, we'll reach the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
Is that
Right.
As Bugs Bunny sang that.
okay? I thought that was a Muppet Show for some reason.
Same thing.
I thought it was Animaniacs.
What musicals have you been in?
I have been in. How much time you got?
Just give us like 30 of them.
Give us the least 3 gay ones that you've been in.
I was Aladdin in Aladdin.
All right.
Aladdin's my favorite Disney movie, and I was pumped to
good
be
one.
Aladdin. I was, have you ever seen Little Shop of Horrors?
Sure. Were you Seymour?
Yes, I was Seymour.
You were the
in
main
that.
guy.
I was the main guy in Seymour.
I feel like did we talk about this before?
I think we
Yes.
have, maybe.
Okay.
And then I was in Beauty and the Beast. I was just like in the chorus.
Were you
for that one.
Gaston?
I was not Gaston. Well, I was in the chorus, but I was also LeFou. It was
Come
a
on,
small,
Jason.
You know Gaston's little crony.
I love him.
You hate your husband.
I love him, but he's no Gaston.
He's like that candlestick guy.
No,
Lumiere?
he's like the clock.
Oh, Jesus.
I was LeFou. I was worse than all of them.
Kevin, someday I
the
hope
people
to have
that
a
know
woman that hates me as much as your wife hates you.
Hey, you should
people
talk to.
that-
You
I
should
still
talk to.
don't want him to die in 20 years.
To the people that know the canon of Beauty and the Beast, they know that LeFou is less than those mentioned. The clock and
Okay.
the
Let's move
Lumiere.
past Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Have you ever been in Alexander Hamilton?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know Hamilton?
Just Hamilton? Oh,
Yes.
Hamilton, yes, but not Alexander.
You've been in
No, I
Hamilton.
haven't been.
Who would you play in Hamilton?
Probably John Burr, right?
Probably
What was his
whatever
name?
white
Whatever-
person.
Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr.
Aaron, thank you very much.
I call him Aaron Burr the way he's dropping Hamilton.
Steph, in
Yes.
Hamilton, who would you be?
I have no idea what you're talking
I would be
about.
Princess Diane, the Princess of Wales.
She would be, and Peggy.
Man, we're really deep in
Because
this pilot.
she only has to be on one. She only has to be in one song.
One word.
One song.
Angelica, Eliza,
And Peggy. I would be Monsieur.
Totally.
A French retard.
Monsieur Lafayette. All right.
Okay.
This would be the
Let's
dog.
talk about this.
Yeah. What do you got to say about this pilot?
All right. Well,
Weisenheimer?
I'll tell you what about this pilot. Okay. This is. I don't know how far you guys are into because I went to the bathroom.
10
all right?
seconds.
All right.
Yep.
There's this
That's where we
cop,
got.
right? And his kid gets killed by gun smugglers. However, this little 7-year-old kid gets blown up by gun smugglers.
Yeah.
And then a black guy visits him in his dreams.
This is one of those pilots that was a made-for-TV movie saying, if this catches steam, we'll make it into a TV show. So we're talking about an hour and a half worth of poo garbage, right? So
Yeah.
Poo poo kachu.
is that you happy with that? Why don't you rate that on a 1 to 7? What do you give that?
3.
Yeah, that's about right. So I don't want to go, but I don't want to take this pilot beat by beat. Okay, I don't want to do that. let's hit the high points, right?
If there are any.
There'll be 30 seconds worth of breakdown
Now,
if that's the case.
usually we spend a good 30 to 45 minutes on describing every pilot episode. It's unnecessary, right?
Yeah. Okay, this is what it is. There's supernatural elements at play here. There's something mythical and mystical from the past. You got images of Stonehenge. You got all these occult things happening, and then it like zooms through a time tunnel
Right.
Yeah.
to modern day, right? And you got a cop, and you got his partner. They're at a stakeout. They're trying to get a guy. They catch him. They don't catch him. He gets free. I don't know. We're in a future, like a dystopian future, like a military state.
Yeah.
You're missing
right?
one thing, though, Jason.
Hit me.
A black guy
Got to have a black
with
guy.
a spotlight on his face.
Yes.
That way you can see them.
There's a lot of shit going on, but then you...
He's
I
not
totally
wrong.
missed that one.
As much as he hadn't seen the episode, that pilot is so dark. And I do
Oh
mean,
my God.
And I don't mean a bunch of black guys. I mean it's dark. Like everything is dark.
Dark as in like a bit. Yeah. That's just,
But there is a black dude in here.
turbulence. Whoops.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And,
Again,
and there's a man. What's his name? I don't remember his name.
David Nash.
Very good. He's haunted by these dreams, and he can't make sense of them. Right. And so they're trying to get this criminal. They kind of smoke him out.
Was the
literally.
criminal smooth?
What do you think that would sound like?
Smooth criminal. Ooh, sorry.
You've been hit by. You've been struck by.
A smooth criminal. Kevin's going to have to fix the levels on this later on.
So, they chase this guy named Gomez. They were on a stakeout. He's like, hey, this is the weird dreams I have. Oh, Gomez is on the move. Let's go get him. And, they arrest him, and he gets free on a technicality. But
They go through the whole process, the legal process?
A to
Wow.
Z.
The technicality was they smoked him out with fire.
They started a fire there and
Yeah.
just smoke him out.
You can't do that.
Dystopian future, man.
As a
Yeah.
cop, you can't do that. You can't smoke somebody out.
Apparently
smoke
not.
somebody up.
About to smoke this plate up.
I am not participating in
Snoop
that.
Dogg? Is this Soul Plane?
Soul plane.
Soul plane.
That may, you know what? If this plane doesn't work out, we might have to buy the soul plane.
You know what?
After, the pachinko machine takes it over.
That's
oh
true.
boy.
Don't give it any ideas.
But yeah, David he's kind of living a very lonely life. I think he fully immerses himself in his work because his son died, and then after that, his wife left him.
I kind of feel he's wallowing in his sorrows quite a bit.
Oh yeah, he's a huge wallower.
If your son dies and your wife leaves you, you have all the right in the world to just lay in your own shit.
Just like a pig
pretty
would
much,
wallow,
yeah.
right?
Huh?
Just like a pig wallows in its own shit.
I thought you said a pretty woman.
Just like Julia Roberts and Richard Gere wallow in their own feces.
I was like, scat play. I'll try it once.
Scapula, good God, man. He thinks about a time when he's like, hey, there's a time where my son wasn't dead, and when he was alive, we built a robot together, right?
Right.
And he's so he's
Those
like,
were his exact words.
I don't like to quote the pilot verbatim often, but when I do,
There was a time when my son wasn't dead.
Oh, those were good times.
Those are good. They were the best of times. They were the worst of times.
What is the name of this? What was it?
Steel Justice?
Dinobot?
Robosaurus.
Robosaurus.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're building it together.
Yeah.
And the son says, I don't think this is a Robosaur. This is a Robosaurus.
Yeah.
Nice
It's
list.
his exact words.
Way to play a 7-year-old.
I don't know that kid had a lisp. Do you have a lisp?
I think she over dramatized because
Okay.
she's on couch pause and she's nervous.
My mom, she tells me every time. My mom is a speech pathologist, and now so is my sister. So I get it doubly. Every time I do an impression or impersonation of an African American person, I seem to throw on a lisp of sorts. And my mom goes, "Not every black person has a frontal lisp."
Well, would you say something in your black impression for us right now?
Hey man, what's going on, man?
Okay, there's definitely a list there.
Yeah, no, but she says
That's a hard list.
frontal lisp, where
a-
a lateral lisp is on the side. It's a lateral lisp.
I think what he's doing is the ladies' man. Hey, what's happening? Right?
Ooh, with a lady.
I'm about to get you a fish sandwich. Right?
Fist sandwich?
You know how I do.
Whoa.
There's nothing like a good fist sandwich.
That's domestic abuse.
All
is what that is.
all the ladies love a fist sandwich.
No.
You know what? Exactly, Steph. Contrary to popular belief, they don't.
Popular belief.
The Gomez character, he gets away because they started the fire, and then he is summoned by the Colonel. And this is an evil, like a fat, old, evil white gentleman.
Right.
Blake, you may remember him as the evil gentleman from Starstruck. You remember the guy who came in? He says, "I want to buy this.
I want to buy this plane
and
because
your
of the pie.
Your apple pie, very good. That was like episode 4.
Apple pie moonshine, bring it back.
High five that shit. Whoops.
We'll try it again.
Better.
Thank you.
So
better bird.
Can we talk about how high that guy's voice is?
It's
weird.
high.
he's a very bizarre guy.
I want to get this guy in my office.
He's so weird.
He's Cartman, right?
He sounds like Cartman.
He's old Cartman.
Hey, you guys. I'm the Colonel. Hey, you guys. I need him in my office right now.
Gus does not like Cartman.
And the Colonel, he is the kingpin of this underground drugs, gun smuggling, all the evil activity in this sector of the city. But he masks his business as like an ice distributor, right?
Yeah. And he kind of looks like the Big Lebowski. He kind of looks like the Big. Once again, so dark that you can't really see anything.
Can't see
but
anything.
He looks like Jeffrey Lebowski, the rich guy.
Do you remember when he does kind of look like that?
I never saw that movie.
Do you remember? Did you ever see Michael Jackson's Moonwalker movie where Joe Pesci plays the evil guy?
No.
That's fucked up. He looks like that dude. You guys haven't seen Moonwalker?
I haven't seen
it's
it.
It's really fucked up.
Does he fuck little kids in it?
The entire 12 minutes.
Whoa.
It's a huge fuck sesh.
I don't think Steffi's going to talk to me after this.
That is not what happens in that. Anyway,
It's like a hot stove, isn't it, Steph? You know you're going to get burned. It's like a pizza.
Okay.
You know you're going to burn the roof of your mouth, but the pizza is so good. That's kind of like what dealing with me is like. It's worth the risk.
Man, that's
That's
a good way to describe
you guys.
somebody. It's a good way to describe yourself if you are like that, but I don't believe you're like that.
You're not
I'll give you
exactly like pizza.
Compliments galore coming from me.
Well,
but
thank you, sir.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen.
Reach around coming up.
basically, what you have over the next hour is David thinking he's on to something as it relates to the death of his child, because he thinks about it and he's like, my kid got like blown up in this vehicle,
Right.
Yes.
right? So he's a dead guy, and then he's thinking about, hey, what happened here? And is it related to this current case with the Colonel? And you're kind of going back and forth, and this
Right.
black guy keeps showing up and says, hey, you have special powers.
And he keeps imagining this Robosaurus.
And he's like, what the hell are you talking
and it's
about, black
moving
guy?
around his
Yeah.
house. and-
Yeah.
I say that all the time. What the hell are you talking about, black guy?
But he does. He has his son's old Robosaurus, and it starts acting weird. And the black guy says, you have these power to change things. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to arrest this guy who had something to do with killing my son. I feel like it just keeps churning the same shit. And you're like, when are we going to see this robot destroy the city? That's what I want to see. I want to see Godzilla-like effects.
Probably like maybe 20 minutes into the movie, I'm assuming.
I would love it if that were the case.
The point where I was that I need to jump out of the airplane is probably getting very close, because I saw the black guy saying, "Hey, you have these powers," and then it's black out for me.
Black guy, then black out? Okay.
Black guy and then black out. He meets him in IRL. If we're talking internet
Total
terms.
Request Live. That's good. Carson Daly, right? People say that I look just like Carson Daly.
Who says that?
He's on like
My mirror.
the news now.
He's on the news?
He's
You
on
don't
like
have black
the
hair.
Today Show now.
He does The Voice, and he does Last Call, and he does Today Show, too?
He's on the Today Show.
Wow, he's just making his rounds.
Yeah,
I
but-
saw John Cena on the Today Show. Anybody can get on there.
John Cena's a correspondent for...
Yeah, his suit looks like it was made from a big tarp.
way too big.
super
too
shiny.
big.
Looks like he was a kid that was in one of those like the Rugrats episode where they became adults and they were wearing their parents' clothes,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, like, it wore off, and then their kids again wearing their dad's
Exactly.
suits.
John
That's
C-
what John Cena looks like.
John
when he wears
Cena
his
looks
suit.
like a little kid wearing his dad's suit.
So, like at the end of Big, when Tom Hanks shrinks back into
That's
a kid?
exactly what it looks like. Yeah.
And then he walks back. He's like, he looks at that girl. He's like, I'm 12 when you fucked a 12-year-old woman.
I love that part.
Wow. That was going too far, don't you think, Steph?
That's the reality of Biggs.
Steph, while you were watching this pilot, what were you absorbing? What were you thinking?
I'm thinking, wow, I can't see anything. There's a lot of running around, and then a black guy every once in a while, and then a robot.
The black guy is peppered in nicely, isn't it? Kevin,
I get it peppered in.
Very good, thank you. What's the last thing you remember seeing, Kevin? I'll tell you where we're at.
I remember seeing them having a conversation. The black guy saying, "I know you." Like he was.
You don't know me.
Blake.
It was. It was basically him telling him like.
Honestly, you can have my job, Steph. I'm totally cool with it.
He said something like, "Hey, you, I know you. You're in my dreams." And he goes, "Yeah, I know I'm in your dreams." Basically, like, what the fuck? So you like
get out of my head and into my dreams and into
in my car.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
So
get out of my dreams.
Ooh,
this show is built on the back of his songs.
My car.
Wow. I'm gonna sit back.
I will say, Kevin, that we are past this part, so I'm going to go ahead and
kick you out.
Probably eject you from the airplane. at this
Okay,
point.
well, as long as I get that. Okay, yeah, here. Thank
Blake,
you. Thank you for the doggy
Blake,
parachute.
open the door, please.
Before I leave, I want to say, I give this pilot a 1.
Wow. We've never had. I hope that parachute works because DSJ checked him like 6 months ago.
You know, he came back from a camping trip, and I want to say they packed a sleeping bag in there by mistake.
Ooh, crap.
That's all right.
Steph, you're gonna be.
You have life insurance on him?
Actually, yeah, I just got accidental death and dismemberment, so this is great.
Perfect.
This is accidentally dismemberment.
Yeah, we just accidentally killed your husband.
Steph's like, I'm rolling the dice for death too. Don't leave it up.
Oh boy.
Leave that plane.
I think Blake. Actually, I think we should close the door.
No. Who's the
There's
pilot?
a lot of
Okay?
there's a lot of air coming in.
There's a lot of hot air. I just don't want him to feel alienated. I want him to be able to see us from the ground.
There you go. Take that beer with
He's
you.
a cute kid. I'm old enough to be his dad.
You really are.
Think about it.
Are you?
Yeah. Pretty much.
42, 26. What's the difference there? 16 years? Yeah, you can be his dad.
Oh, a young one. Yeah.
Hey, my mom had my brother when she was 15.
Boom.
And you met my brother, so.
The rest of the pilot goes like this. Hey, I think you killed my kid. I didn't do that. And then he says, I did do that. My henchmen go kill David Nash, the cop. They try to kill him. They kill his partner, a lady.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
That was sad. I really
That
felt
was
like
sad.
that woman should have been a part of the series, right?
Yeah.
Right, you don't want to kill off his partner in the first episode.
I'm sorry, are we boring you with the show you haven't seen? Is that what's happening?
No. Gee whiz.
Honestly, I don't blame him for being bored. That's the
I
first
can't
time
either.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, that's the first thing you don't blame him for.
Yeah.
You know me for 4 months now.
Well, they.
You know what? This is the best relationship I've ever had.
The
4 months without
David Nash he's like, my kid's dead. The wife's gone. My partner's dead. He's like, I'm going to take the guns that I own. I've been stripped of my badge and gun, but I found this gun, and I'm going to go murder everyone over there. And he's about ready to do it, and then the black guy reappears, right?
Right.
What happens then? You remember?
The black guy's like, hey, come on, let's do this.
He's like, let's try this.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Let's do this.
No, he's like, hey, don't, you got a death wish? He's like, I do have a death wish. He's like, well, let me go in there first. So the black guy goes there and kind of smarts off to some thugs.
Right.
Kind of gets them all worked up. And it's basically what he's doing. He's like, I'm going to give you, David Nash, a trial by fire. I'm telling you have these magical, mystical powers. Mm-hmm. And he's tried to summon them. He couldn't do it. And he's like, well, I'm going to go in there, and I even though I'm an immortal, I can still be killed by violence. So he puts himself in harm's way to make David really try to summon this thing.
Right.
And what do you...
He's kind of like buying some time.
He is.
Yeah.
But when he finally does say, it's go time, and I have to summon this thing, what would you liken his face to?
Time? Did he say that? It's go time?
He looks right at the camera. He points at the camera, and he says, it's go time. And then right before it says that, NBC put up a thing that says, put on your 3D glasses.
Right.
When he tries to summon him, what does his face look like to you, Steph?
You would think he was trying to summon like some sort of boner-like thing because it was like an O face. It looked like an O face.
Summon a boner-like thing.
A boner-like thing.
It really did. It's this is another part of the show where there is an excess of light, and there's like a beam of light on his face, and it looks like he is receiving oral pleasures. To me, his face is.
What's the timestamp for this part?
I'll forward that to you.
Okay.
But he does. But instead of ejaculating, he ejaculates a Robosaurus.
Oh.
It comes into the play here. It decimates everyone and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the robot you hadn't seen the whole episode?
Exactly.
You see it like in his dreams a little bit, and then you see the toy robot version like rolling around at home. But here at the very end, the crescendo of the film is when you actually see the giant robot dinosaur laying waste to all the bad guys.
Wow. Intense.
Maybe, but why wait till the end? We're gonna get into that shit for sure. So they kind of lay waste. The black guy comes back at the very end with the crime scene whenever all the cops they're kind of cleaning up at the end of the film, and then the two of them just walk away. And they're like, "Oh, this is
yeah, they're kind of joking.
Yeah, they're slapping each other's asses, walking around."
Ooh.
Right.
What's the timestamp on that?
That's at the very end. Just go right to the very end.
Right.
And while you go there, I'll take you to Turbulence.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Steel Justice. Boy, oh boy, this show did not work. Let me count the ways. Steph, I'm going to ask you, actually, why did the show didn't work?
Well, what didn't go wrong with this?
The lighting guy should be fired.
Exactly. The lighting was terrible.
Was it like super emo? Like just dark?
So much guy liner you wouldn't believe.
Right.
There was a lot of action, but you couldn't really tell what was going on.
It was too dark. They were really trying to set this dystopian future to a point where it didn't make sense. It was like everything was too dark, and there were too much barbed wire and spotlights on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's happening, right?
Right. We need to know what's going on here. Also, as we mentioned, they killed off his partner. Doesn't really make sense for a storyline.
That was maybe the only predominant female in the show.
I mean, she didn't sound like a female, but she was a female.
Yeah, she had a deeper voice than I did, for sure.
That reminds me of a girl I dated who had a super deep voice.
What? No, you go ahead, please.
Oh, yeah. Is that it?
She was so awesome. She sounded like she smoked like... She talked like this. She smoked like 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
Was she an actress?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
Well, she had sex with me, so she's probably acting quite a bit.
That's it. That's the story.
It was a very quick, ill-fated love.
Okay.
I loved her, and she was disgusted by me.
Aw,
That's okay.
She, even though she had the voice like a man, she was disgusted by you.
Well, I don't think it was disgusted. I just didn't have a lot going for me at the time. I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, but look at you now, right?
Oh,
Air Force One.
Air Force One. That's the first thing I put on my list. If I look at my life, I'm like, what do you put first?
Air Force One.
First one.
No context whatsoever, just
Yeah.
Air Force One. Boy, if I had to improve this one episode, I would say give me some more of that dinosaur, right?
Totally.
Get on the floor. Everybody do the dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's what we want.
Right.
You can't call it Steel Justice and give us glimpses of metal robots and then shove it for 3 minutes at the end.
It reminds me of the Kung Fu movie we watched.
No Kung Fu what to speak of.
There was no Kung Fu till the last 5 minutes of the show.
Give me that Kung Fu.
Right.
Whew. Where would this go, you think, Steph? If someone had the cojones to say, yes, this will be a
blank
series.
check, a blank check.
Right. Where would it go?
I think it would be kind of almost children show like Power Rangers, where it's kind of like the same thing over and over. Like the black guy's like, "Hey, use your powers again," and then it takes forever, and then the robot smashes. Yeah, the orgasm comes.
Dinobot activate.
And then they smash the bad guy at the end.
Yes. I mean, it seems silly, right? But you feel like if this is what the show would be, every episode he would be standing in a corner somewhere getting off while a robot comes in and wrecks house. Right?
I'm all into this.
You like the sound of this
yeah.
show. All right. Well, why don't we take our final descent and we'll see what other people have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Steph's bored.
What's that?
Steph's bored, I think.
No, I'm not bored.
We definitely have not done this before, so I will ask IMDb score-wise, what do you think? Okay, Blake, you want to go for it?
I'll let Steph go first.
Okay.
Ladies first. I'm a gentleman.
4.6.
Nice try. It's 3.5.
He's exactly right for cheating. Good job. That's from 98 ratings. So 98 people have seen this and cared enough to rate it in some fashion.
To say this sucks.
That's impressive.
Critic reviews. Matt Shimkowitz from SideSplitter.
That's more than that will listen to this podcast.
Absolutely, it is. Matt Shimkowitz, Shimkowitz.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. From SplitSider.com says, one of the problems with Steel Justice is just that. How are people supposed to take such a high concept seriously when the guy's superpower was summoning a robotic car-hungry dinosaur? Crowe and Hill, the writers of the show, banked on the recognition of other popular sci-fi elements to comfort us before the monster's entrance, but when he finally comes out, it's used as a reward for enduring the 90-minute pilot. Steel Justice was a vehicle for Robosaurus, and to justify its existence, Crowe and Hill wrote a story that included anything they thought people could grab onto. That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like this was way too long. It seems like it was way too long.
Way too long.
It was pretty painful.
Mm-hmm.
Viewer reviews. Monster Truck Mayhem makes mess of a movie. 1 out of 10 scars from Xantara Xenophobe from Illinois, USA. If you happen to be a fan of monster truck rallies or like me have seen commercials promoting them, you might recognize the name Robosaurus. From what I could tell, it was a humongous machine in the shape of a Tyrannosaurus Rex that could slowly pick up cars in its claws, lift it to its jaws, and chomp down onto it till the car was scrap.
And then breathe fire.
That's exactly right. Oh, and it could also spew flames from its nose. Wasting all that money and fuel for the sake of entertaining a very small percentage of people, mostly male, who will blow a month's paycheck to watch huge trucks mash up some station wagons nobody wants. If you are one of those people, you just may be the target audience for Steel Justice. I can't think of anyone else that would possibly endure it.
I wouldn't mind going to a monster truck.
That's a scathing review, wouldn't you say?
It's very scathing.
You've never been to a monster truck rally?
I don't think so, but they always look. I see the commercials like Sunday. You know,
kids get a free hat.
Right. Kids get a free hat, and I think about it, and I go online, and it's like, oh, the kids' tickets $15, adults $75.
That's when you just send the kids on their own.
Oh yeah,
have fun, kids.
Just drop them
Call
off.
me when it's over.
But it does seem like it helps your testosterone. I mean, you feel more manly after watching it.
Oh, absolutely. Next review is by Wizard Man Jones. He gives it 2 scars.
I got a Wizard Man Jones.
I don't know if that's a reference to. What is that? Is Johnny Cash?
No.
Love Johnny Cash.
No, it's not Johnny Cash. I got it. What is that?
Cockstrong?
That's what I was thinking.
I got a basketball Jones. Come on, Gavin. You know the words.
Robosaurus is the hero we need, but apparently not the one we deserve because he's fucking nowhere in this movie.
Whoa.
That's right. Wizard Man's
That's not the kind
not
of
afraid to throw out.
Wizard Man is not that kind of show.
I was promised a movie about a goddamn giant robot dinosaur obliterating criminals and their cars, and what I got instead was a terrible Australian actor moping over his dead son for 80 minutes until fucking finally a giant robot dinosaur is mystically summoned from a toy under the guidance of an immortal black dream wizard to kill this psychiatrist from Total Recall, which I guess is the bad guy there.
Wizard Man, calm the fuck down.
I can imagine him writing this. He must have been fuming.
Yeah, it was probably pretty hot in that guy's mom's basement that day.
Right.
Another review by Damug, 1 star. A movie with the title of Robosaurus that features Robosaurus on the box art shouldn't wait until the last 10 minutes to introduce the damn Robosaurus. If I'm an English teacher, that guy's getting marked off for using Robosaurus thrice in 1 sentence. The rest of the plot of this movie makes entirely no sense either. Color me entirely disappointed with this trashy excuse of a monster truck rally nostalgia.
Color me disappointed as well.
Color me bad.
What's that song they had?
Ooh, I'm gonna sex you up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
And while Blake prepares to sex himself up, Steph and I will rate this pilot.
I can't rate it?
No, you can rate it.
Okay.
But sex yourself up first, won't you?
But Steph is in the plane, and her husband just flew out. I mean, if I sex myself up now,
all right,
she may never go back to him again.
Yeah. It's a real factor. On our score set forth by the classic television shows from the 90s. The show's called Wings, right?
Great show.
1 to 7. 1 being the worst you can get. That's the character Roy Biggins. All the way up to the best the man can get. Gillette. That's Brian Hackett.
Steph, have you ever watched Wings?
No.
Oh.
You got to watch it.
You need to go back and watch some episodes.
You got to wing out.
Hashtag wing it.
Just wing it. Steph, I turn to you. How do you rate Steel Justice?
Well, I'm going to give this one a black guy bump.
Okay.
Nice. Because you're not racist?
Solid.
Exactly.
All right.
Because I love black people.
Sure.
I love the black man.
You guys can't see my dog. He's black. I'm going to give it a 3.
Give it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a very good score. Blake, based on what we've talked about, I know that I rated The Tribe.
Sure.
When I didn't see it.
It's only fair. It's only fair.
You've heard what Steel Justice is about. Captain Philip Restisher, I turn to you. How do you rate Steel Justice?
Well, Kevin, before he flew out out with the
sleeping bag.
Out with the old.
Yes, exactly. In with the new. He said a 1.
That's right.
So
that's the worst you can get.
Steph says a 3. Kev says a 1. He didn't watch the whole thing.
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
You're gonna give it a 2. Boy, I think I'm right there with you. I think I got to give it a 2 as well.
It caused you to hurt your brain, didn't it, Steph?
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. You want a Robosaurus. You don't get a Robosaurus until the end, right? It's too bleak. It's too dark. There's no humor. I mean, just give me something to smile at. Nothing. It's all bleak and hardly any Robosaurus.
Yeah, I would think that no Robosaurus and a dead kid right off the bat would I mean that's
strike 1 and 2 for you right there, right? Oh my God! And with that, we close the book on Steel Justice, never to be mentioned again, ever. But join us next time, won't you? When we watch the pilot episode of Here Comes Tobor. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. A young boy uses his ESP to control a robot created by his wheelchair-bound uncle, and together they combat the forces of evil. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. And you know what to do, Tube.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Boy, I nailed
You
that
should
one.
trademark that.
I'm working on it.
All you got to do is mail it to yourself, right?
Yeah, I think that's
how you use.
You can trademark anything by mailing it to yourself?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to mail something to us, Blake, how do they do that?
Our email is couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. You can also check us out on Facebook at Couch Pilots Podcast. Go to Twitter. On Twitter, you can find out who we're trying to get a hold of. What's the next episode? You can really dive into what's going on real time.
That's right.
And that's at Couch Pilots Pod.
That's right. Gross.
Sorry.
Instagram.
But, our main staple, the place you can go and see all this stuff is couchpilotspodcast.com.
One-stop shop.
And then, what's that dial-in number? What's that sweet, sweet dial-in number?
You want to be like the Al Pachinko machine? You want to be like Tyler or so many more that have come before them.
You're going to get more frequent flyer points for calling in.
It's 910-PILOTS-1. That's 910-745-6871. Call us any time of day. Leave us a voicemail. We're going to play it on the show.
Sure.
You're going to get frequent flyer points.
Mm-hmm. You can turn those in for, you can take a flight with us.
Right.
You can get an array of surprise prizes. Mm-hmm. Signed aviator glasses. Right. Used underwear. You can, if you have enough, like Lori Garcia and Big Dick T, don't call him Richard.
Right. Don't call him Dick.
Right. We sent them a box of a number of prizes.
Sweet care package.
There was a drug test. There was a pregnancy test. There was some bottle caps.
Crystal meth.
There was some heroin needles.
Right.
You can get anything.
That's exactly right. Boy, oh boy. What a great episode today. I hope all of our frequent flyers reach out to us. Steph, I'm sorry. What can we do about that? I keep saying Stephanie.
Because he's trying to be appropriate because you're a lady.
It doesn't matter. I prefer Steph, but if Stephanie it's fine.
That is your Christian name, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course.
Listen to Let's Try This podcast, wouldn't you say?
I would say.
What's your Twitter?
Our Twitter, I always get everything confused, is Let's Try This Podcast.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's Try This Pod.
Okay, and what's your email address? Because I know you guys love getting emails.
We love getting email. Oh my God, we get so much email. It's crazy. We can't read all of it. It's Let's Try This Podcast at gmail.com.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sitting in with us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Okay, good.
Captain Philip Restisher, anything you'd like to say to our frequent flyers before we go today?
No, I mean, I don't like to spend even a more exorbitant amount of time.
Right.
But it was great having Steph on the show. It was great having Kevin. You know what? I'm honored to have Gus on his first flight ever.
Yeah.
You know, continental flight. I'm sorry, Gus. Well, I thought it was.
He's on
I
the
thought you had a
ground,
good time.
like, yeah.
No, just guys, please tell folks about Couch Pilots Podcast. I just want to say that in the month of June has been our lowest downloads ever. And it's because our listeners are not sharing and telling people about Couch Pilots.
Wow.
When I say low, I mean Sex with Heather low.
That is another show you can find here on the FCF Network, an archive show.
Well,
All right.
we love you. We have a good time. We hope you interact with the show.
Yeah.
If you listen, just tell one person.
Just tell someone about it. Have fun with it, right? And with that,
So I don't cut my wrists.
and with that, and him cutting his wrist, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
I love you all.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.